Welcome back to the GSTL Pre-Season on Heart of the Swarm. Currently, HoSeo taking a 1-0 lead with some really Swarm host dominant play.
Yep, very well played and a great debut, of course, for Sanae, his first game, and he killed the killer.
Yep, the killer found himself the killed.
Now it's the question if he can end dreams.
Yep, maybe he'll make it a nightmare for him, but so far, Zergs have been living the nightmare in Zerg versus Terran. It's been a very difficult matchup for them so far.
Yeah, he talked with quite a lot of pro gamers that play Zerg, and against Terran they struggle a lot. He talked a little bit with Stefano. He didn't really like that he is giving up map control against Terran so much now in Heart of the Swarm.
I gotta say, I just have to say this before I forget. I saw Tasler's hair. And
it's awful, right?
It's
get the clippers out.
Yeah, I don't know.
People have been talking about what exactly is on top of your head today, but that is nothing in comparison to Tasler.
Well, that's Wolf Airman, but what Tasler has on his head is, I'm not quite certain. I've been trying to figure it out, but
I think it's related to what Stefano has on top of his head.
Yeah, his hair is definitely in the same hair family right now. They're definitely related species.
It's alive.
Yeah.
Well, but now we have those two guys. We have a Zerg versus Terran. Dream here, a very good choice for Team MVP. A Terran, kind of the obvious choice in Heart of the Swarm against Zerg. But we've seen already yesterday when JK was playing that he was playing really strong against Terran. Maybe Sanae can do the same thing against Dream. We're going to find out right now at the GSTL Pre-Season with Alan Wolf. Bam! Top left of the map, our Zerg player for Team HoSeo. It is
HoSeo Sanae.
So far, taking a win. Good debut so far.
Yeah.
Very yellow-orange keyboard.
Yeah, Sanae really strong here. And bottom right, I think that was actually a Filco keyboard. Bottom right, we have in blue the Terran player for Team MVP. It is
MVP Dream.
And he's chosen the map that we have had most often Protoss' pick against Terrans in the GSTL so far, so it may be that he wants to avoid Protoss players coming out against him on this map if he wins, which is probably assuming he will.
First thing to note here is that he's not going for the 8-Rex 8 Gas Reaver build, which was really common, especially on ladder. You will heal that quite a lot if you see Terran versus Zergs. So let's see what exactly he's going to do. And I'm also interested what Sanae's opening is going to be. He has a drone scout out, which is really important for him to know what kind of shenanigans Dream has up his sleeve. But also it will help him a little bit to make sure that he can expand immediately. And that's what he's trying to do. Ah, that was so close.
Imagine how effective it could have been if he had blocked that command center.
That would have been awful for Dream.
But he will still force 2 additional SCVs off the line. You need 3 to be able to defend against this.
And he knows that he is completely safe with his own hedge first opening that he was trying to go for.
Yeah, so now he's going to feel very comfortable. Dream, though, is sitting there just calming himself down after what was nearly a nightmare with the command center. Trust me, you never want to have that happen to you. That's the most frustrating thing.
Yeah, it's really annoying. This is one of the things that made Protoss cry bitter tears every single time they got engineering blocked.
Oh, he could still get this SCV. He's going to need a repair, and there's the repair, but no! A nice pick-off there.
I feel that this drone needs to be rewarded. He needs to extractor to steal the gas and let it be at least an extractor before it dies.
Yeah, or maybe just get out of there, go home, you know, live a life of mining.
Live a life of mining? How is that a reward?
Well, I mean, it's safer than being a life of being shot at while you're unable to move as an extractor. I'd rather see him go home. But he's made his choice. He wants to be the hero.
Call me crazy, but can he get out there? I don't think that he can get out.
Well, I think he can.
I'm pretty sure he can.
Let me check.
Well, be it as it may, the choice has been made. We have an extractor, so now he goes for the gas steal. And I like that quite a lot.
That may just be a tight wall. I mean, since he hasn't put a third depot, I will assume that it is.
I like Sanae already. This was a good choice. Letting it even finish. Okay, jokes aside, what you usually do when you have that, you usually try to go for to cancel the extractor and to rebuild it the entire time, because you need 3 Marines to take down this extractor while building, so you can actually prolong the entire thing a little bit.
Yeah.
So Sanae decided to not bother with it at all and just let it finish, block the gas for as long as possible. He knows that there's an expansion, so what MVP Dream could do at any point in time is just get the gas at the bottom of the ramp.
Yep, that's exactly what he could do. And he just decides to leave it, in fact, to save his SCV since he didn't have anything in the bunker. That mule, 2 mules, in fact, forced off the line.
Yeah, and losing a lot of mining time here.
Yeah, 2 mules losing mining time this early in the game is actually huge.
This is
well worth that Zergling death.
Yeah, exactly. This is not only annoying, this really affects your opening.
He's going to do the same build that we saw Lucky do, the Roach opening with Burrow, which now is easy to access on hatchery tech.
Yeah.
And he's just going to burrow his Roaches every time they nearly die because they regenerate so fast. It's kind of like Blink Micro, if you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, you can scan and see them underneath if you want, but...
I mean, there are a lot of differences, but there are also a lot of similarities between the two upgrades. You can get one unit out of the line of fire.
Yeah. And both, of course, are slightly different, and the one is to just simply remove them from vision and make them unable to fire. The Stalkers can still fire as they blink back.
With Blink, you're a little bit more versatile. You can also put on Aggression, but on the other hand, you have the Burrow upgrade, which gives you an increased regeneration here, so that helps.
Yeah. Now these Hellions are going to run into trouble. Dream is not having the best time here with this opening, but this is important because now he sees what he's facing, and he's going to need to get a second bunker up. He decides against it, interestingly enough.
Here comes the bunker. We have the first Marauder now on the production tab. Stim, of course, won't be an issue in the next fight, but those Roaches are out for blood, taking down the first Hellion here, forcing the SCVs of the mineral line. Once again, mining being denied. Another SCV dead. Very well played by Sanae so far.
Yep, and he's just pressuring here. This is not an all-in. He's got a third hatchery. He's going to burrow this Roach. He already does it. And he's just going to continue to do this. He's going to force potentially even scans to be used.
And look how he really targeted the SCVs. He didn't even try to take down anything else. He was just going for the SCVs, making sure that the economy of Dream is weakened. Who now uses a scan, but the Roaches are still in the mineral line. And this is really well used. He makes sure that now another scan has to be used if he wants to get rid of the Roaches.
Yeah. And he's, you know, if Dream doesn't notice where those Roaches are, he'll even be in a worse situation. But he does see it, scan it. But he splits the Roaches well, similarly to how you would split DTs to avoid scans.
So this means 7 Harvesters were killed, 2 scans were forced, and
he has a third.
And a lot of mining time lost. This was a very nice early push by Sanae, a little bit of aggression, trying to get a slight advantage over his opponent. It was well played.
Yeah, and now he's kept Dream off his back long enough to get a third. There are a few Hellions out here. He was able to kill some Hellions, in fact, with this push. These Hellions are going to want to go and scout that third base.
And currently what we have for Dream is a completed starport. If I'm not wrong, yep, there it is. And we will see the Vin Diesel Medivacs very soon. And also the Armory for the Helmet Tech.
There goes the Hellion fleet. I guess I don't know if they're quite a fleet with only 4 of them, but they see the hatch, not much they can do about it. They are doing a good job of denying the creep. He's already killed 2 tumors at this point. This is just a little pressure play by him. He's going to even catch these transferring drones. This is not something that Mr. Sanae is going to be happy about.
Yeah, and now we have Lair Tech also nearly completed while the Hellions are taking their first units down. The first drones are dead at the mineral line. Now the Roaches trying to pin them into a corner, trying to trap them, taking down the first one, killing another one, and the third is also gone.
Yep. In total, Workers killed this game 7-5, slightly in favor of our Zerg. The Medivacs are out though, and he does not have mutas yet. They're a long way off with the Spider just now starting, so he's going to have to defend this with what he has, and right now, he does not have any speedlings, so he can't just run back. He's going to have to rely on his slow Roaches. He sees this, he has to send him back right away though.
Yeah, he's going back right now. We don't have a speed upgrade for the Roaches just yet. They are just finished. Runs the drones away. Not the worst choice here.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have much other choice.
The Roaches also retreat. At the beginning, apparently, he didn't see it right away, so now he's going back with the Roaches, but the choke point is controlled by all those Marauders and Marines.
Yeah, he's going to actually have the top of the ramp here. This is not good for Sanae. He can't actually fight like this, but he feels he has no other choice. You know, he can't let these units run free in his main base or kill his Spire, but if he fights with the drones and the Roaches, like you said, with that concave, it's not good.
Wolf, he doesn't have the production to really
build
like
anything against this. Or something. I don't know. He just certainly does not have any production.
He's losing those units one by one, and that's something that he just can't afford happening. Look how many Harvesters are being killed.
He should burrow his drones, you know, I feel, at this moment in time. Maybe force a scan, that's all he can hope for. Second wave of drops goes into the third. There's not any answer here. This one has Hellbats, and they will be healed by the Medivac.
The Hellbats are here, and this looks like the end of Sanae if he doesn't come up with some kind of trick, because his third base is under so much pressure that he can't even defend it. It's gonna die at this natural. He might not even be able to defend against this push.
You know, at first I thought maybe it was a larva problem, but I looked at the workers and he made a ton of drones right before this attack hit, so I feel he just didn't react well enough to what he was seeing and droned up way too heavily. It was a bit greedy, and now he's being punished. Now his hatch at the third is dead, as well as his natural. And I don't see any way for him to recover here.
I think he's gone. We have the third now completely destroyed, the natural already gone, and here comes the rest of the army for Dream. The Hellbats are on the move, and those two medivacs will just join the rest of the army.
Yep, he's going to be able to rip down these evolution chambers in seconds. And he can control the bottom of the ramp, kill the Baneling Nest.
Hellbat, Marine, Marauder, medivac. The quadruple M is on the move.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure where exactly I came up with an M for the Hellbats,
I don't know, but
it doesn't really matter.
Well, he's not going to have...
the H&Ms are here.
H&M? Oh, I like that, actually. Well, let's just say Dream is going to have a hell of a time with this push. He's going to easily clean up these roaches. Once the Hellbat gets to the front, does some AoE, GG.
The H&M army is here, and that stands for really, really cheap units, but at the same time, a good quality, so...
Yeah, cheap units, but you get a lot out of them, that's for sure.
And that's exactly what's happened. So Sanae after the first win in game 1, he was defeated by Dream. A strong opponent, of course.
Yep. And this will tie the score. It was pretty straightforward. Dream takes a good map for Terran and a good matchup in Heart of the Storm right now. Takes the counter pick.
I actually feel that Sanae, for some reason, did not see the medivacs with the first two, with the first roaches that were walking to the bottom right. We saw them on the minimap, but he probably paid attention to his main base, his natural, maybe his third. He did not see them.
He only had a glimpse, and he may have missed it, but I think at the moment he really saw is when it was on the watchtower, and it was too late at that time. He only had one Zergling on the map, and normally when you don't have mutas, you're trying to get Spire takeout like that, you're relying on either Spine Crawlers, Banelings, and Zerglings, usually not Roaches, to defend, because if you have a bunch of Speedlings, you can run them right back in your main, shut down the drop, make them fly away until the mutas are out. But in this case, with only Roaches and not very many of them, he made too many drones. He was dead.
In the end, we also had the Hellbats out, so with the Lings alone against Hellbats, you just won't have a good time. Not at all. He tried to go for the Mutalisks, wasn't fast enough. So now we are heading into game number 3. Dream is the opponent who you have to beat if you are on the NS HoSeo bench. And the question, of course, once again, who is NS HoSeo going to send out to take him down?
Well, to say what I said earlier, but in perhaps a more correct sense, I would like to see Tassadar now. Protoss versus Terran seeming to be a pretty decent matchup overall in Heart of the Swarm. He has the map pick. Choose any map he wants, play the style he has planned, and that's who I'm expecting coming out here.
I would like to see him. I would like to have Jakchi last. This is kind of the place that he filled in GSTL every single time. That's actually not quite true, but quite often he came out as the last player. So I feel,
but he's not on the team anymore, so he's not somebody we can rely on right now.
Yeah, I can certainly see Tassadar coming out now, Jakchi being the last player, and then for the third spot, one of the new guys. That could definitely be the case. But well, the answer is, of course, gonna appear on screen in a few seconds as soon as the NS HoSeo bench is ready to reveal the next player.
Who's it going to be? Tassadar sitting so far in the middle there, I'm starting to feel it's not him.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
But he's jumping a little bit. Oh, it's Mystery Glasses Guy. Mad Bull.
Yeah, that certainly is very fitting.
Certainly, man. When I saw that ID on the list and I saw that him doing that, the first thing that came to my mind is that must be Mad Bull. But I was like, I can't say that because what if I'm wrong? But turns out my mental feel that I had, my intuition on this was correct. NS HoSeo Mad Bull, the Protoss player.
Yeah.
This guy played on the ladder in Wings of Liberty. I recognize that ID, but I've never seen him play competitively on TV before.
That's a nickname well chosen.
Yeah. Don't mess with the bull. You're going to get the horns. Probably what he'd tell you. His Heart of the Swarm experience is not applicable.
I can't wait to see this guy. If his playstyle is only half as crazy as his bantering, then we are in for a very good game.
I think so. NS HoSeo coach looking almost a little bit concerned.
I told him to behave.
He's like, what have I gotten myself into with this guy? We'll see what he's got planned.
I'm not quite sure why I'm so happy to see this game now, but I expect something really crazy of this guy.
Yeah, he's like a Choya, you know, is expecting aggressive play. That's
Look at them, they're all laughing. Something is about to go down, Wolf.
I think so. I think that we're definitely gonna see a creative build order for sure. Dream's sitting in the booth going, well, we'll see.
You know what I want to see? I want to see him win and then just go for some kind of banter. Think about what his winning ceremony is gonna look like.
Well, I can't imagine just
He's
yet.
gonna do flip overs in the middle of the stage and then a perfect split. I don't know. Could happen.
I'm not sure about the perfect split or the flips, but probably something on a comparable level. I'm not sure if his flexibility or how in shape he is really lines up with doing something like that, but you never know.
The Kill 'em Flats is going to be our next map in the third set. We have Dream versus Mad Bull.
I Kill 'em Flats, the map of choice. What's he gonna show us, man? This is gonna be pretty cool. Anything goes.
I just have to laugh. I see the guy, and I'm always reminded of that move that he did with his leg earlier. He's definitely crazy enough to show us something that we have not ever seen yet. The game is on, guys. We have Mad Bull versus Dream on a Kill 'em Flats here at the GSTL Pre-Season. Jumping to the game. This is going to be a good one. GSTL Pre-Season once again. Brought to you by Carl Wolf.